Karyn Bryant for MMA H.E.A.T. I'm here with the decorated Marine, Brian Stann, also in the UFC. You're very prominent in the fight to get veterans hired for jobs when they come home and everything. Why do you think it is that it's difficult for them? Is it the employers having a hard time hiring them, or is it they are having a hard time assimilating back into a 9-to-5?
Well, it's both. It's everybody's always going to veer towards what they're most comfortable with, and if you've never served in the military, you're going to hire people that are probably more near your own personal background. So employers need to be educated on the skill sets of veterans and what they do. Secondly, veterans are not very good at communicating and quantifying their skill sets, which is imperative if you're going to try and get a job in today's economy. And that means resume writing and interview skills. I graduated from the Naval Academy and I was an officer in the military. I had never written a resume before in my life when I got out, and I was lost. I didn't know what to put. I didn't know how to advertise myself. And we all know that when you make a resume, companies are only going to look at that for 8 seconds, 10 seconds. So teaching these guys to make that thing impactful, learn that language of advertising your skill sets, it takes some time. It's an environment they've never been exposed to. But once you do it, what you have is a very powerful tool, because let's face it, these veterans at the ages of 19 and 20 have been imbued with more responsibility than any other American could even fathom. Give me a CEO of a major corporation. Give me the CEO of Microsoft. He has not had to make as difficult of decisions as a 20-year-old is today in Afghanistan right now on which way to turn or what to do with this IED or where this sniper's shooting from. So any company that thinks that they're not going to hire somebody, who's imbued with honor, courage, duty, and respect, integrity, all these things. I mean, you're not going to find that out of a frat house, out of a regular college grad. I didn't have it when I graduated from the Naval Academy. I had it truly when I was done serving my country after I'd been to Iraq a few times. Now, there's something that's ingrained in you for the rest of your life, and that's what these companies need to realize.
And it seems to me that as part of a unit, you learn how to lose yourself. You become all of one, and so there's a certain humility that you learn there that maybe you don't have when you go to a job and say, I'm the best, I'm the best. That's what people do in a job interview.
No, without a doubt. I mean, you don't go through the military without having humility. I mean, just going through boot camp alone is going to break you down to the bottom. And no matter what rank you are in the military, there's always somebody higher. There's always somebody you got to stand at attention for. So, absolutely. And when you're in a mission where there's lives on the line, nobody cares about pride or ego and all that other stuff. It's just about the guys next to you. And if you fail at your job, forget about losing your own life. That's not what people are concerned with. It's about the guy next to you. Could you imagine living with yourself if you failed and the young man who's your best friend next to you dies? And so, when they come into the workplace and they bring, that kind of teamwork and that kind of focus and attention to detail and strategic planning and discipline, it makes a huge difference, and it can deliver towards employers' bottom lines, which, let's face it, in an economy like this, that's what they're focused on.
And do you find that there's a sensibility of that in MMA? I mean, I know it was founded on honor and tradition. Do you see enough of that in MMA these days?
You do. It's martial arts, and it's never going to go away. And I think, there's very few fights where you see two guys who have a lot of animosity and are very disrespectful for each other. Unfortunately, the media eats it up when they do, and they publicize it so much that it makes it almost like the thing to do. And that's just our society these days. I mean, you flip through the channels, and all you see is this stupid reality TV where people become millionaires for acting like idiots. So, we've asked for that, and the press certainly asks for that out of the athletes. They like it more if we hate each other than if we're just respectful for each other. And that's unfortunate, but it's just part of the world. I think that this sport, because it's so humbling, nobody goes undefeated, that there's always character and integrity. You're just going to wash out of the UFC if you don't have it. You can't go through the peaks and valleys we have in this sport. When you win, you're on top of the world, and there's a lot of dangers that will then come near you, people that want to cling on to you and bring you down. When you lose, it's completely different. Now you have to fight the feelings of, man, do I ever want to go through that again? Do I want to fight again? So the guys that stick around and last are guys with integrity, discipline, and character, and that's, what martial arts is all about. Hi, I'm Brian Stann. You're watching MMA H.E.A.T.